The regular meeting of the Aurora City Council for Monday, March 9, 2026 is called to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilmember Andrews.
Here.
Councilmember Bergen.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Coombs. Councilmember Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Hancock.
Here.
Councilmember Horton.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Present.
Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Medina.
Here.
Councilmember Wiles.
Here.
There's a quorum.
Please join me in an invocation. O Lord, our God and our Father, we come to you and we ask that you look upon this particular gathering tonight to keep us safe and guide us in our decisions. Bless our city with honorable citizens, industry, sound education, and good government. Unite our community together, even though we come from different backgrounds. We pray that there be justice and peace in our city. Give the city council, the citizens the wisdom, direction, and sensitivity to the business and proceedings before us tonight. Hear us, therefore, as we commit this meeting to the help of our entire community. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Land acknowledgement. The City of Aurora acknowledges that we gather on the territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota peoples, past and present. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. Indigenous peoples have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands and to their vital place in the ecosystem are renewed and reaffirmed. And we are called to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as we continue to work to meet the needs of our entire community. Next question before us is the adoption of the agenda. Motion is in order.
Oh, no, we need approval of the minutes.
There are no minutes to be approved.
Oh, number 6. Oh, we have minutes from last meeting.
No, Pete, we don't have them complete yet.
Oh, they're not ready yet. Sorry. Okay.
Thanks.
Our city attorney stands corrected.
I stand corrected, Katie.
Mayor,
Councilmember Bergen.
motion to approve the agenda.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bergen and seconded by Councilmember Hancock for the motion to adopt the agenda. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the agenda.
Mayor
Katie, I'm a
Kaufman?
yes. I'm not yet in the e-scribe.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Kaufman?
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Horton?
Yes.
Councilmember Jackson?
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes unanimously to adopt the agenda.
Prior to starting public comment period, I'd like to state that to the members of our audience, both here and watching at home, that I don't approve of the sometimes rude and offensive behavior of some of the individuals who will be speaking this evening. Under the advice of our city attorney, I'm very limited on what I can do, and sometimes they're looking, the individual speaking tonight are looking for an opportunity to sue the city, claiming that I violated their First Amendment right to free speech. And the courts, unfortunately, have been sympathetic in awarding them damages at taxpayers' expense. As I exercise my own First Amendment rights, please know that I personally find their speech as offensive as you do. Public comment period.
The first person is Tanya Tabachek, followed by Ryan Stitzel.
Katie, he's going to read the decorum statement.
That's not it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought he was finished.
No, I don't have it. Please proceed.
Tanya Tabachek, followed by Ryan Stitzel.
It's true.
Okay, then Ryan Stitzel, followed by John Clogan.
Hello, my name is Ryan Stitzel. I live in Ward 1, and I'm here about the same persistent problem that the community has been bringing to your attention for quite some time now. Of course, you know that I'm a member of the Denver Aurora Community Action Committee, and that we have an outstanding, unmet demand for you to get rid of this racist, corrupt police chief, Todd Chamberlain. We have brought you the evidence of his racism as an officer in other cities. We've brought you evidence of lies and cover-ups following the murders of a number of our black neighbors. And we have brought you the families of those murdered neighbors to plead with you to do the right thing. It is abundantly clear that this man is unfit for his position and untrusted by the community. You must, at this point, know this. Still, he remains employed, though, so I wonder if you need yet another example of his contempt for the community he claims to serve. Members of this council have hosted multiple events in the community to discuss Aurora's thoughts on police oversight. Even Kaufman, the slimeball, managed to show his face at these events and at least pretend to listen to what the community wanted. But Todd Chamberlain, however, showed no interest in hearing the community. He was nowhere to be seen. Turns out Todd was going rogue. He was busy scouring the city for anyone remotely resembling community that was willing to buy into his latest insulting scheme. This last week, Todd proudly announced the results of that secret project of his, the APD Community Response Team. Funny, considering the fact that neither the community nor the elected city council representatives that were consulted in the creation of this team. And what is the purpose of this team? Is it to allow the community to provide input on the functioning of APD? No. Chief Chamberlain is perfectly clear that the community at large has no place in this team or anywhere near the levers of power that control their police force. You see, in his eyes, the problem between police and community boils down to the community ignorance. He thinks we're upset at the cops because we simply don't understand what they're doing. This is a vile distortion of the truth. The community understands all too well what the police are doing. We are the ones that live with the aftermath of what they are doing in our communities every day. We console the crying mothers and celebrate birthdays for children that will forever be 14 years old. We don't need a response team that soaks up APD talking points and regurgitates them around the community. We need full community control over the police, and we need Todd Chamberlain to pack his bags. I encourage anyone who supports the removal of Todd Chamberlain to contact our organization and join us in one voice to say, "Time's up, Todd." Thank you.
John Colgan, followed by Della Jordan. Okay, Della Jordan, followed by Paul Nelson.
Della Ann Jordan, 70 years old, disabled, a senior, a person at risk. Yes, I was here on the 24th of February. I'm here to discuss the Aurora Regional Navigation Center and the Aurora Police Department. I thought that when I came here, 2 weeks ago, and requested help from the city and the Aurora Police Department, that I could get them to talk to me. That did not work. Actually, it got worse. I was here the 23rd that night. The next morning, I was assaulted. I believe that the assault was in retaliation because I did come here and I did complain. All I wanted was for the owner and the top staff members to talk to me, to explain to me why the bad things that happened to me was happening to me. When I came into that shelter, I didn't realize that I was signing away my rights. I did not sign away my civil rights. I have every right to be there and to be treated like a person and not an animal. Okay. When I got up the next morning, I went into the large dining room. As I walked into the area, there were two white males that was yelling, screaming at me, calling me all kinds of ugly female names, and told me not to come into the area, told me that someone named Matt told them to fire me. as I began to do what I was supposed to be doing, which is serving coffee. I serve like 350 cups of coffee to homeless people every day. And most people enjoy the service that I give. As a matter of fact, on Valentine's Day, a homeless person gave me a $50 bill because they thought the service was so good. As I began to serve the coffee, the two men continued to harass me, call me names, and told me to leave. Then they started telling another female that was there to get rid of me. Do whatever it took, but get me out of there. This female decided that she was going to, my time is over, but I am still requesting a meeting with the mayor, the chief of police, the owner of the place, and I can't remember, but my time is up. I'm still requesting that meeting, and I will get in contact with my congressman, I believe whose name is Crow, and my senator, who I believe name is Bennett.
Katie, can I get her information, please?
Paul Nelson. Paul Nelson, followed by Cassandra Hill.
Paul's not here.
Oh, okay, thank you. Cassandra Hill, followed by Ayante Anderson.
Hello, Aurora City Council. My name is Cassandra Heil. I am with the Denver Aurora Community Action Committee, otherwise known as the ACAG. And I'm here tonight, along with many of my neighbors, to demand the City Council fire Police Chief Todd Chamberlain. His actions prove that he is incapable of leading our police department toward the accountability and transparency our community desperately needs and has been demanding for years. Todd Chamberlain's latest initiative, the so-called APD Community Response Team, is not a step toward reform, it's propaganda. According to the department's own website, this is a group of people handpicked by Chamberlain and the office to meet with APD privately. The public and even members of this council were kept in the dark until it was a done deal. This panel is being sold as a way to improve communication, but its structure reveals its true purpose. They only meet bi-monthly behind closed doors with no public oversight. These individuals will receive information from the police department only when appropriate. The chief is not going to this group to listen to the community or provide transparency. He is curating a small group of residents to hear his side of the story. It's not meant to foster genuine dialogue. If Todd Chamberlain were truly interested in strengthening understanding of the community, as he claims, he would be talking to the parts of our city most affected by police actions. Where are the voices on this panel of those who have been brutalized by the police? Where are the family members of those who have been killed by the police? They're absent, and that absence tells us everything. It tells us that Todd Chamberlain does not want to hear from the residents of the most critical perspectives. He wants a friendly audience he can control. It's not community engagement, it's controlled opposition. Todd is pretending to create reform so he can maintain his power and his paycheck, all while the real issues fester. Talking to the community doesn't do anything if APD isn't listening and there's no action behind it. We must remember that Aurora Police Department is under a state consent decree because of a long and tragic history of failures. Aurora residents have been demanding change for years. Instead of submitting to that, Chief Chamberlain creates a secretive panel to continue to spread his propaganda. Even Councilmember Wiles said or criticized its lack of transparency, stating she wasn't aware of it being formed. If our own elected officials are kept in the dark, how can the public possibly trust this process? This brings me back to my central question. Why is Todd Chamberlain still in his position? The citizens of Aurora have been loud and clear in our demand for him to be fired. We have been asking you to act. Council members, the choice is yours. You can continue to allow Todd Chamberlain to cover for his abusive and murderous police officers with reformative gestures like response team, or you can do your job and represent the community. The people of Aurora want him out. We are watching, we're organized, and we will remember who stood with our community and who stood with a chief who prioritizes his cop friends over the safety and trust of this city. Fire Todd Chamberlain and give community control to the people.
Ayante Anderson, followed by Ann Still.
Katie, before you start my time, ma'am, I have texted Congressman Jason Crow on your behalf and his district director, and they have asked me to give their contact directly to you to respond to your concern. All right. Good afternoon. Yesterday, the world recognized International Women's Day. Across the globe, people celebrated strength, leadership, and resilience of women. But here in Aurora, there are mothers who experienced yesterday very differently. Because while the world was celebrating women, there are mothers in this city who are still grieving. I've often quoted scripture, and Isaiah 1:17 says, "Learn to do right, seek justice, defend the oppressed, take up the cause of the fatherless, and plead the case of the widow." That scripture is not complicated. When injustice happens, we are all called to confront it. And today I want to center the women whose voices must never be ignored in this conversation, the mothers. Because there are mothers in Aurora whose sons are not here to celebrate them. Their sons cannot call them, they cannot hug them, they cannot say, "Thank you, Mama," any longer. Because their lives were taken during encounters with the Aurora Police Department. We know their names, you know their names. And behind those names are the mothers who have had to endure the unthinkable. Those who carried a baby for 9 months, those that raised them and loved them, and then because of the Aurora Police Department, they had to bury them. While the world celebrates women, these mothers are left holding grief. Empty seats at dinner tables, birthdays now feel like memorials, and a justice system that often moves slower than the pain those families carry. Some of this council, particularly those who are MAGA Republicans, continue to accept campaign support and political backing from the police union, and then turn around and act surprised when accountability becomes difficult to deliver. Let us call it what it is. When elected officials take political support and donations with the very institution they are supposed to oversee, the public has every right to question whether the system is truly being held accountable. That decision to take those contributions sent a message. It sent a message to the grieving mothers. It sent a message that you are protecting an institution that was more important than rebuilding the trust of our community. Scripture tells us to seek justice and defend the oppressed. Justice does not begin by listening to the loudest political donors of your campaign. The mothers of Aurora should not have to beg their government for justice. Justice should already be standing beside them.
Ann Still, followed by Median Schaffner. Okay, Median Schaffner, followed by Kiowa Lewis.
So I'm going to come back up and talk to you on the second round since I had to change my dialect because of how we wanted to open the meeting this evening. So I'm going to come up here and tell you exactly what frivolous lawsuits do not do. Frivolous lawsuits do not require a government to change course because they violated the constitutional rights of the people they are supposed to serve. You say that you care about taxpayer dollars, yet your leadership keeps guiding this city right into lawsuit after lawsuit. So my question is, who really is in fact protecting the taxpayer? Because leadership like this is not how you protect a taxpayer. When this council decided to remove public comment and violate the First Amendment, you should have been grappling with that harder than we did. Yet you find yourself in your feelings because you settled a lawsuit that you swore to your constituency you would never do. Your city attorney came to the table of mediation. He didn't have to do that. We were ready to go to trial. But your city attorney, under the guidance of your leadership, decided it was better to mediate and figure out how we can reinstate the comment of the people to ensure that everyone, in fact, does get to express their First Amendment right. So I ask again, who really is about protecting the taxpayer when you have leadership that continues to freely escort this city into multiple lawsuits? When we did that settlement, we issued a joint statement advising that we were encouraged, that we were able to come to settlement to understand the importance of democracy. And now we are seeing the reality of the leadership that this was never about democracy. This was about control and not care. But at the end of the day, this podium has much more power than any dais that you can erect in this room. So as we continue to navigate into these conversations and we continue to show up to participate in democracy, we're going to say you're welcome even though you refuse to say thank you. And if you attempt to suppress the voices of your people again, you will find yourself back in that same courtroom trying to figure out what exactly you're going to do to protect the taxpayer. So to everyone watching, I just want to say that I don't affirm the leadership that you heard when this meeting started, and I'm just as offended as you are.
Kiowa Lewis, followed by Laura McLaughlin.
We are at war. A lot of y'all are targeted. Only 1% of you are actually safe. I say that not as a threat from me, but a threat from my Father, our Abba. Y'all. As we get ready, just know that we come as humble as possible, but y'all have allowed time to continue to go on and on with the killing of people here. This is one of the most evil cities in the United States, right? People say Aurora is great. I feel sorry for the people who are trying to make it great, but actually get swallowed up by the people who are just pure evil. You know who you are. And there's some missing here, but majority of y'all are here. It's happening. The war is coming. It is. I don't say that as a threat. I say that as a spiritual, factual statement. It's about to happen. There's only so much that we can do to calm the people down. We're tired. I get up here and I pray over y'all all the time because it tells us to. But it also tells us to be wise and don't be fools. When that day comes, that's all I can say. It's going to be so glorious. It's going to be so glorious. It is. I'm grateful for the ones that do stand up. Median has did quite a number outside and doesn't even have the same power that y'all hold, and she does it from the bench, from the chairs. I see Allie, she does the same thing. Allison, I was rooting for you. I'm not saying you did anything bad, but I hope everything is going good. Right now, I understand that you're under the spiritual warfare. You're dealing with a lot of people who are under a demonic spiritual warfare hold. Reuben, same thing to you. Rob, I know really nothing about you.
Laura McLaughlin, followed by KDOT.
Hello. June 1st, 2023, 8th grade 14-year-old Jordell Richardson was murdered by the Aurora Police Department. The police were in pursuit of a shoplifter. They were quite aware that they were chasing children because it was said in the body cam. We as a community watched the officer tackle Jordell, and in seconds of tackling this 14-year-old child, the officer shot him in the abdomen. Why were they chasing a child, believing it was a shoplifter with a gun out in the first place? Blows my mind. After shooting Jordell in the stomach, 1 minute and 30 seconds went by before the officers even said, "Let's do CPR." Did 2 chest compressions and stopped, all while you can hear Jordell dying. And this was called justified. For the life of me, I cannot understand how this murder is just called justification. I've watched his family place a plate at an empty seat for Thanksgiving, where he will never be able to enjoy the meal. I have attended actual birthday parties put on by his family where he is not there to blow out the candles on his birthday cake, and balloons are sent up to heaven to let him know he is still loved and murdered, and so much more. Less than a year later, on May 23rd, 2024, we watched as a community Kylan Lewis, with a cell phone in his hand, raising his arms and bending his knees to lay down on the ground, and he never made it to the ground because in seconds he was shot in the abdomen by Aurora Police Department, who say they were serving a warrant that in fact that was not the case. The warrant wasn't even signed, but this was just called justified. Say what you want about Kylan Lewis, but I am here to give a different narrative. He was a protector and a friend to my daughter and kept my daughter safe through a troubling time in her life. Just a few months later, on October 4th, 2024, Corey Dillard was murdered by the Aurora Police Department, suffering a mental health crisis. The media released an unfalse story, which once again we watched on camera was untrue. And this was called justified, as you killed a war victim. Just a few months later, February 8th, 2025, we watched Jalen Sebron murdered by the Douglas County Police Department, shot 7 times in his back in 7 seconds with a legal registered firearm by an officer that never identified himself and has murdered multiple other people. Just a few months later, Ray John B., and please forgive me, I don't want to slander his name, was assaulted by a Aurora police officer, and it was called de-escalation. And then we watched this officer gun him down. This is a pattern. To be honest, it's been going on for decades. I have so much more to read, but you can read those dates. This is a problem. A problem.
KDOT, KDOT, followed by Francisco Soto. Nope, sorry, you're the second person.
Second person? Okay.
KDOT.
Cameraman, can I get a close-up? So, the person that I'm holding in my hand right now, you guys have tried to hide. And I'm not talking about the current city council. I'm talking about, you know, the old city, I don't know, the old fuckers that keep messing up. And you know who you are. So I filed to request this guy's picture, and guess who this guy is? This is Officer Mike Deek. This is the bastard who killed Kylan Lewis, my cousin, my cousin's brother, our family member. So this is on record now, currently. This is the guy who did it. So Michael Deek, you can't hide anymore. You can't hide in the equipment room, because I know that's probably where the fuck you're at right now. You can't hide in Colorado Springs with your 6 dogs and your wife named Cindy. Yeah, I can say that. I can absolutely say that, fuck boy. It's all public information. It's all in there. So at the end of the day, do the right thing and fire this motherfucker immediately. I'm done.
Thank you, Kevin.
Francisco Soto, followed by Tanya Tabachek.
Yeah, I got a concern on February 14th, 2026, on Valentine's Day. There was a meeting held about drones and I guess the flock-style cameras for the city of Aurora. But when I just happened to stumble upon that meeting because I was going to the main library, and I looked on the website. On the city website, it said that meeting was canceled, or it was like the mayor's meeting or something like that. And on social media, it wasn't advertised. So I think a lot of people in Aurora didn't know about it. I didn't get no email about it. So it obviously was intentional that that meeting probably wasn't, promoted for a reason. And then I attended the meeting and asked some questions about requesting public records of flock cameras and drones. And the police officer that was there that day, he said, oh, that's not our department. He didn't know too much about it, but the whole purpose of that meeting was about transparency. And doing a public records request is a big part of government transparency. So somebody from that department should have been there. But yeah, I don't understand why somebody from that police department can come to the meeting and speak with the public. Anybody in this room could do a public records request and get body cam footage, and do any type of, get any type of documents. So, but I could see that the mayor was very upset when I attended that meeting, asked questions, and pulled out my phone and started recording. And I seen you take a picture of me. So I don't think that was, I think you were pretty upset about me recording that meeting, because there was nobody from the city that was recording that meeting, and it wasn't posted on YouTube. So that's what I have to say about that. And Ruben Medina, you usually get back to me very quick, and I texted you twice about to look into that meeting, and you never got back to me. So, you know, I don't know what happened there. You know, usually you get back to me pretty soon, and you have helped fix some things in the neighborhood. So I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Also, 311's not doing a really good job. They've hung up on me when I've called and complained. And when I ask for the employees' names, they give me a nickname. They don't even give me their actual government name. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.
Tanya Tabachek.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I was not going to maybe talk tonight, but ironically enough, with the transparency that I feel is not really transparent with council, I just thought it was ironically, and I've talked to Mayor Pro Tem Coombs about this, but I just thought it was ironic to hear about this Chiefs Community Response Team. Yeah, and I asked a couple of you guys if you knew about it, and you said no. Said that it's been between Mr. Batchelor and the chief. And you know, I'm very interested in getting involved in certain things, and then I was heard there was applications, I didn't see anything. And I'm always on Facebook, I'm always looking at things. And when I was looking at that, I was just getting kind of agitated because we always want to be transparent with our community and so forth. And to me that, I don't know what this response thing is going to do or whatever, whoever is it, I would like to know who exactly is on this and what exactly they're going to be doing. And then I do have a statement regarding my thoughts to it. My thoughts is activists have a right to talk regarding whatever they want to say. This new Community Chiefs area, with this newsletter that he's putting out, to me is not open and not transparent and public via everyone involved. To me, it's select people. If you want to get real people involved and people to listen and talk to the chief and so forth, you need to get the people that are really voicing. They're not scared to say what they want to say. They say what they want to say, and they have the facts and stuff to back them up. I've not done that, and I feel bad about it, but I am just more and more becoming more realized that you guys as a city council, you're in charge of, you guys give us information to everybody in the city. And it seems like that's not happening. Thank you.
That was the last individual.
The motion is in order for the adoption of the consent calendar on motions, item number 10A1 to 10C2.
Mayor?
Councilmember Medina.
Yes, I'd like to pull 11A8.
We're not there yet.
We'll go to the next paragraph, Councilmember Medina. Still need a motion for.
Motion. Mayor,
What's that?
motion to approve 10A1 through 10C2.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bergen to move the consent calendar on motions, item number 10A1 to 10C2.
Second.
Mayor?
I'm sorry.
We need a second.
Second here.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Second.
Oh, okay, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem. Discussion?
Mayor?
Councilmember Medina.
Yes, I'd like to pull 11A8.
Not yet. We need to wait till the next motion is made on paragraph 11. So we're on paragraph 10 right now. Motion on the floor is approved. Motion.
Okay, to C, 10C2, okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar on motions, item number 10A1 to 10C2.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Horton.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously to adopt the consent calendar for motions.
Motion is in order for the adoption of the consent calendar on resolutions and ordinances, item number 11A1 to 11B2.
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem.
I move to adopt item 11A1 through 11A7 and 11B1 through 11B2 with item 11A8 pulled.
Okay. It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Bergen.
Seconded by Councilmember Bergen. To approve the consent calendar of resolutions and ordinances, item number 11A1 to 11A7, 11B1 to 11B2. Discussion? Seeing none, should I pull that one
Go ahead and
first?
vote on this motion.
Okay.
Call for the question.
Call for the question on adoption of the consent calendar resolutions and ordinances as amended.
Councilmember Horton?
Approved. Sorry, Katie, I can't figure out e-scribe here at home, so.
That's okay.
things to do next time.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously to adopt the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances with item 11A8 pulled.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 11A8.
Item 11A8 is Resolution 2026-20, directing the city manager or designee to provide an annual reporting and evaluation of the tobacco, kratom, and age-restricted hemp retail licensing ordinance and other related matters.
Motion is in order. Moved by Councilmember Gardner, second by? Councilmember Bergen, but a brief staff presentation.
Yeah, this is a resolution that was brought forward by Councilmember Gardner regarding reporting related to the tobacco and age-restricted psychoactive products ordinance, and it has some requirements with regards to the annual reporting.
Okay. Questions of staff? Seeing none, is it? I'm sorry. Councilmember Hancock.
Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Trevor, can you tell me if such a resolution is approved, how long would it take for the reporting that is asked for here to actually come to fruition?
Yeah, so the first, it has 3 points with regards to reporting. So the summary of enforcement activity conducted pursuant to the ordinance, and similarly, compliance outcomes observed during the reporting period. And I think, and then it has a third one regarding data trends. And these, certainly the enforcement activity would be available once the program stood up. So I think what you're referring to is perhaps a timing issue with regards to, implementation of the ordinance and how long we'd see actually effects from compliance activities. And so when you're talking about the surveys, which I assume this would reference like Healthy Kids Colorado surveys, it may be some period until kind of those compliance efforts plan out. For example, catching the vendors that are selling to youth and then taking enforcement action against them. Additionally, in the ordinance, you have some provisions regarding like spacing of retailers and such, which may take a number of years till you see kind of impacts from that.
So it would be reasonable to expect that it could be 2, 3, 4 years before we would actually see some data that we could, pull from that shows results of this?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what we encounter out there. So if you have like, for example, a single retailer that is routinely selling to youth and we address that, you could see perhaps more immediate impacts within a year or two on that. But some of this is about density of retailers, so you wouldn't see a reduction in the density of retailers and any corresponding, reduction in youth if you correlate those two, probably for a number of years because the existing retailers would be grandfathered in.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Councilmember Gardner.
Trevor, did not Section 6-523 of the ordinance require an annual report to City Council about the effectiveness of the ordinance?
It does, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor?
Further questions, Councilmember Bergen?
Okay, so can you tell us what data, you said the data from the public health surveys would not be available for years, but the other data is available?
Yeah, so maybe to clarify that, so those survey, the Healthy Kids Colorado survey, from what I understand, is done every 2 years. And what I was referencing is you may not see benefit from some of the strategies involved with the ordinance, you know, for a period of a number of years. So it's going to, for example, it'll take us 6 months probably roughly to get the whole plan activated and everybody licensed. That's the estimate that I'm using. And then you're going to have compliance checks after that. And then you'll catch, you know, some retailers in that. Then you'll have, you know, some surveys. I don't know when the next survey is. So you've got kind of these lagging indicators on these surveys. So it's just a note for the record that you may not see in the next year, you know, real strong, solid impacts from.
And then on the enforcement activity, that you can actually track though, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you can track the enforcement activity and then any compliance you can track as well? So the only issue is really the youth trend data?
That's correct. Yeah, I think that's just some notes on when you could expect that data to maybe show some results.
And then I guess back to Councilmember Gardner, you posed the question about in the original ordinance that there is reporting requirements. So is there anything else missing, Councilmember Gardner, besides the youth data trends?
Councilmember Gardner.
So this is really a question back to Trevor, but Trevor, you're bringing up one specific report that may or may not be available, and nowhere in this resolution does it require the use of that specific reporting tool. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, that one's not.
Okay, so again, you're bringing up one specific reporting tool, and this is an answer to your question, Councilmember Bergen, that isn't required. It says available youth access trend data derived from governmental public health surveys or enforcement data sets that are specific to the city of Aurora, or where city-specific data is not available from recognized regional or state data sets that include the city. So again, a report is being brought up that's not required by this. So frankly, I'm not really sure why, but that's an answer to the question. There's no specific trend data that's required by this.
Okay. Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen.
And then Trevor, is this really a heavy lift for you, or is this doable? With the fact that Councilmember Gardner said you're not required to have the other.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the survey that I was aware of that I had in mind, and I think if there's other surveys, we could certainly pull that data and present it. I don't know one specifically off the top of my head, but, you know, we can look at it.
So it won't be a major problem?
As far as presenting this data, I don't believe it would be.
And I mean, I think it's good to have data, so I support it with that clarification that it's not necessarily required until they have that data.
Okay. Further questions to staff?
Mayor.
I'm sorry. Who's it? Councilmember Medina?
Yeah, just a couple things. Can I continue this to the next council meeting? I'd like some more clarification around the data piece. Like who's going to gather the data? When's it going to be more or less
Let me defer to the city attorney.
So currently, Mayor, we have a motion on the floor that's been properly seconded, is currently in debate. That motion would have to be withdrawn by Councilmember Gardner, and a substitute motion. You could make a substitute motion to continue this matter to the March 23rd council meeting, which would then have to be seconded, and then you all would vote about whether or not to accept that substitution to debate that motion.
Okay. So a substitute motion.
Are you making a substitute motion, Councilmember Medina?
To take it to the
23rd. Moved by Councilmember Medina as a substitute motion to the Gardner motion to move to adopt 11A8 to, what is the date certain?
March 23rd.
March 23rd. Is there a second?
Second.
It's
Mayor.
been seconded by Mayor Pro Tem. Discussion on the Medina motion.
So this is not under the merits. This is just whether or not to accept this as a substitute motion. Then if it's accepted, you will debate whether or not you should grant the motion for continuance. So this vote right now will be whether or not you want to take the motion that Councilmember Medina made and replace it with the one Councilmember Gardner made. Right? There's a two-step process on a substitute.
Okay, so discussion on the Medina substitute motion.
Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Just this bill, as Councilmember Gardner, or this ordinance, as Councilmember Gardner and I had discussed recently, included a lot of stakeholding with a lot of different groups. And so I would just like to see the ability to have the conversation about this resolution that also includes perspectives of multiple stakeholders.
Further discussion? Councilmember Gardner.
Yeah, it's really telling that we pass an ordinance that requires annual reporting, and then when we try to define that annual reporting, all of a sudden there's all this chaos. It really tells me a lot about what the actual intent of this ordinance is. And so because of that,
Further discussion on the Medina substitute motion? Seeing none, call for the question on the Medina substitute motion.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember, thank you. The motion passes with 9 yes votes, 2 no votes from Councilmember Gardner and Councilmember Lawson.
I know this is going to sound duplicative, but now that motion on the table, on the floor, is now to continue this item until March 23rd. So we do need another vote on the actual motion that is pending.
And we don't need a second motion.
We just need a call
Very well.
for the question.
Well, Mayor, I do want to
Further discussion,
because you said we
yeah.
couldn't
Mayor Pro
discuss
Tem.
the merits.
Right.
No,
So,
it should be discussed.
Councilmember Gardner, the issue is not the request for specifics on the reporting. I think from the stakeholders that I have spoken with, they fully support having specifics on the reporting. They just had questions on some of the language and making sure that it's fully inclusive of all of the stakeholders. A lot of the language really only talks about what industry wants and what industry was looking for in the ordinance. So really, what I would like is just the opportunity to talk through how can we make the rest of the resolution more inclusive of all of the stakeholders. It's not about whether or not the reporting and specifying the reporting is a valid request.
Further discussion?
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen, then Councilmember Hancock. Councilmember Bergen.
Yeah, I'm always for having more stakeholder input, as I did before on the original ordinance, to make sure that we heard from the business community. So I'm fine with that. I think it's extremely important that we do track the data, so that is what I'm interested in.
Councilmember Hancock.
And I just, the ordinance, we've already moved forward on that. And I know that, Trevor, you have some reporting in there. And I thought before today, we had come to a really good place with the ordinance where it was, without us being the nanny state, also protecting young people, keeping in mind business concerns as well. And so I thought we were at a good place. I am very interested in us having valuable and really good reporting around it, being sure that we are fair and that we are being equitable in terms of how we're tracking how our young people are being impacted and also how our businesses are being impacted as well. So we can have that discussion and for the date certain so that we can be sure that we're in a good place. But I think from the very beginning, I thought the ordinance was a well thought out ordinance, for the record.
Further discussion on the Medina motion? Then the question before us is the motion to move item number 11A8 to continue it to March 23rd. Further discussion, seeing none, call for the question.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Jackson. Thank you. I just got it. Thank you. The motion passes with 10 yes votes, 1 no vote from Councilmember Gardner to continue this item to the March 23rd council meeting.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 12A.
Item 12A is public hearing consideration of ordinance 2026-06, approving the 13th Avenue Station Urban Renewal Plan and creating 2 tax increment financing areas.
There might be on this one, I don't know. Because these are public hearings.
Public hearing is now open. Presentation by staff.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Roscoe from Planning and Business Development. Tonight, you're conducting a public hearing and considering an ordinance to adopt an urban renewal plan for the 13th Avenue Station area. The primary purpose of the plan is to facilitate residential development on vacant and underutilized land surrounding the station. With this plan and the associated tax increment financing areas, the city and AURA are seeking to use incremental tax revenues to assist with funding infrastructure. The main investment, a bridge over the Tollgate Creek, will enable new workforce and affordable housing on 2 infill locations on Aurora's R line. Without the city and Aurora Authority efforts to overcome the access challenges, the land at 13th Avenue Station will remain vacant and underutilized. The plan delineates 2 tax increment financing areas within the urban renewal area. Area 1 would include property south of Tollgate Creek. Area 2 would encompass the RTD property north of Tollgate Creek. According to the plan, the available incremental revenues include 100% of city taxes, including property tax, use tax, sales tax, and lodger's tax. 100% of Mile High Flood District property tax. 70% of Aurora Public Schools property tax, and 65% of Arapahoe County property tax. Approval of the ordinance would signify council approval of the 13th Avenue Station Urban Renewal Plan and would establish the urban renewal area and the 2 associated tax increment financing areas. Thank you.
Does anybody wish to speak on this issue? Katie, does anybody wish to speak on this issue?
No.
Questions?
Questions to staff? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed, and a motion is in order.
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem.
move to adopt item 12A.
It's moved by Mayor Pro Tem,
Second.
seconded by,
Second?
second by Councilmember Horton, to approve item number 12A. Further discussion?
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen.
Yes, just on, again, on the bridge, can you elaborate on what the cost will be?
This plan provides a mechanism to fund the bridge. The original cost estimate on the bridge was $8 million. Additional engineering has been ongoing. The cost is likely to increase. That number has not been finalized yet, and we are hopeful that within the structure of this plan, we'll be able to accommodate the increased cost.
Thank you.
Further discussion? Further questions of staff? Motion is in order for the adoption of item number 12A.
You already did.
No, now we're voting on it. We had the motion, now we're voting on
no.
12A.
Yep, that's good.
He's
asking for a motion.
Oh, sorry. I was
Yeah,
going to
I thought they
call
did.
for the question.
City Attorney stands corrected again. Okay. No,
Confusing me.
The motion already been.
Already
It was
confused.
made by Mayor Pro Tem Coombs and seconded by Horton, so now we're calling for
I
the question.
stand corrected.
Mayor stands corrected.
I stand corrected. I call for the question on the adoption of item number 12A.
Mayor Pro Tem,
One for one.
the motion passes unanimously to adopt item 12A.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 14A.
Item 14A is finalizing of ordinance 2025-06 for a zoning map amendment to rezone approximately 3.91 acres of land to medium density residential district located south of the intersection of East Joel Avenue and South Joliet Street.
Let's see, presentation by staff.
Mr. Mayor, this item is in the second reading, and we are here only to answer questions, if you might have.
Questions to staff? Seeing none, a motion is in order.
Sorry, I think we were just a little confused because we
Motion.
voted last time. So move to approve item 14.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Wiles to approve item number 14A. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 14A.
Councilmember Wiles. The motion passes with 9 yes votes, 1 no vote from Councilmember Hancock to adopt item 14A.
Will the clerk please read the title, item number 17A?
Item 17A is consideration to appoint 1 member to the Civil Service Commission.
Motion is in order.
So, Mayor.
Nomination is in order.
You can do, however council wants to do it, you can do nominations, or you can make a motion to appoint. I'll leave that to whoever makes the first motion on how you want to do, open for nominations, or make a direct appointment.
Mayor,
Councilmember Bergen.
motion to appoint Josh Riddell.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by Councilmember Hancock to appoint Josh Riddell.
Do we do discussion or?
You can.
Discussion,
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen.
Yes, I think all 4 candidates, obviously, that we ranked, interviewed today, appreciate all their interviews. I do think that Josh Riddell really rose to the occasion and was very thorough in his answers, and I think would be a very fair, unbiased person, very objective in that position.
Further discussion?
Mayor.
I'm sorry. Who's it? Councilmember Lawson? Councilmember Hancock.
I just wanted to concur with Councilmember Bergen's assessment of Joshua. I thought he was the most well-rounded, stood up the best, didn't file any previous lawsuits against the city, he was a real stand-up guy, and I really appreciate his thoroughness on filling out the application completely. He was one of 2 who did that, which is very telling in such a position like the Civil Service Commission, and I support his appointment.
Further discussion?
Mayor.
I'm sorry, who? Mayor Pro Tem.
I have a question for the city attorney. If we wanted to appoint more than one of these individuals, what would be the process if we wanted to remove a current member and appoint 2 of the individuals that we interviewed today?
Okay, so under the city charter, the city council, at their purview, can remove a board or commission member for any reason except those that are protected under law. And so all it require is you to choose one of the members on the Civil Service Commission, make a motion to remove that person, second, debate, and vote. And if 6 or more of you concur, then that person would be removed, and then you could appoint somebody else tonight because it is on the agenda. And so right now, the current motion on the floor is to appoint Josh Riddell as the current commissioner. You could still do that, or you could point another name, or however you want to do it. We can handle that first, and you can do that next, or you can ask to pull this one and do that first. It's just kind of whatever council's prerogative is.
Okay, or if we wanted to do that, could we appoint this individual now and then have it
Absolutely.
on the agenda for a future meeting to remove an additional member and appoint one of the individuals we interviewed, one of the other individuals we interviewed today?
You can do that as well.
You just have to have it on the agenda, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's on the agenda tonight, so, because you're dealing with the Civil Service Commission. So if you wanted to do it tonight, you could. I know it's not listed to remove somebody, but again, it's the Civil Service Commission is on the agenda. There's enough notice that you all would be talking about the Civil Service Commission tonight. So if that motion was made, now it hasn't been made yet, but the motion on the floor is to appoint Mr. Riddell.
So the Mayor Pro Tem would just, through the contacting the city clerk, then that would provide notice if it were on the next agenda.
So if it's not done tonight, then we would say on the next council meeting on March 23rd, we would add a 17, under paragraph 17, consider the membership of the Civil Service
To
Commission.
remove one appointment.
And that's what it would say.
Could she give notice tonight that it's going to be on the agenda?
She can. I mean, if you want to, you don't have to. It just needs to be on the agenda.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, you can work with my office to put this on the agenda. You don't have to make the motion tonight. You can put it on anytime before the next council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate the city manager. It takes 8 members of council to remove somebody from the Civil Service Commission.
Okay, great, thank you.
Further,
Yep.
okay. I'm sorry.
I do, Mayor, I would say that, I do agree that the interview went really well. With Mr. Riddell, I thought he was very thoughtful, but I think that there were a number of people who also provided thoughtful interviews, so I just would like the opportunity to appoint more than one person. I understand, obviously, that there would need to be conversation with my colleagues prior to just removing someone, but I wanted to understand what that would look like if we wanted to do that moving forward.
Very well. Further discussion on the motion for Josh Riddell to the Civil Service Commission? Seeing none, call for the question on, I guess, the appointment of Josh Riddell to the Civil Service Commission.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
The motion passes with 9 yes votes, 2 no votes from Councilmember Andrews and Councilmember Horton.
Would the clerk now please read the title to item number 17B?
Item 17B is appointment of new associate judge and new relief judges.
Without objection, I'd like to divide this up to the associate judge position first and then the relief judge. So,
No objection, you can do that.
without objection, then we'll discuss nominations are in order for the associate judge position.
Mayor?
Mayor Protem.
I move to appoint Ari Krichiver. I don't know if I'm saying that quite correctly, but his application was phenomenal.
It's been moved by Mayor Protem, seconded by?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Medina. I'm sorry, who was that individual? Who was the name of the individual?
Ari, C-H, or K-R, I'm like, it's K-R-I-C-H-I-V-E-R. I don't know how to say it correctly, so I don't want to butcher it.
Okay. I'd like to offer a substitute motion for Troy Moyer. I was very impressed with his,
Troy Johnson?
no, M-O-Y-E-R. Moyer. He was recommended by a professor at the University of Denver Law School, and I thought the letter was very impressive. Troy possesses the exemplary character and service orientation necessary to serve the people of Aurora. On the bench, he will deploy his considerable emotional intelligence and wisdom as a judge in service of his community.
Mayor, point of order.
Very well.
I thought that when we were putting forward a substitute motion, we weren't discussing
Correct.
merits.
Yeah.
Very well.
So the mayor has we had the motion on the floor for Mr. Kirschner. I can't. And now the mayor is offering a substitute motion for Troy Moyer that requires a second and then a vote to actually replace that name into the motion that's pending. Then you would vote on whether or not to appoint him.
Okay.
So this first, we need a second on the substitute motion.
On Moyer. Motion fails for lack of a second. Oh,
Yeah. Unless,
Well, I was going to make a second.
okay, well.
Well-
Councilmember Bergen.
Second.
Moved by the mayor, seconded by Councilmember Bergen.
okay.
Discussion.
So now the vote will be on whether or not to replace the name, not to vote on the merits. So all you're doing is voting on whether or not to replace Troy Moyer with the name that was originally put forward by Mayor Pro Tem.
Further discussion. Seeing none, call for the question on the substitute motion.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Lawson. No. The motion does not pass with 5 yes votes, 6 no votes. The yes votes from Mayor Kaufman, Councilmember Andrews, Bergen, Gardner, and Hancock.
Okay, so now that substitute motion failed, so we're back to Ari Krichiver as the motion to appoint is now pending. So we're back on that motion, and it's still in debate.
Discussion on the motion?
Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem.
So there were quite a few things about this application in the letters that were impressive to me. I think the one that is the most relevant to municipal court, other than general knowledge of municipal law and procedure, which was laid out by several people, was the ability to take complex legal topics and explain them in clear and understandable language. Many of our defendants are not represented by counsel, and even for those that are, this is many people's first contact with the court. And so I think that a jurist who's able to really break down what's happening in clear and understandable language would be a great asset to our court. But in addition, the letters just again and again talk about fairness, willingness, and ability to work with people in opposition very effectively, as well as really strong legal analysis and legal practice. So I just, from reading the many letters, I was incredibly impressed with the picture that the recommenders presented of this candidate.
Further discussion? Seeing none, I call for the question on the Mayor Pro Tem motion for, is it R.E. Kirch?
R.E. Krichover.
Okay. Call for the question.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes. Do you think by changing the process?
The motion passes with 10 yes votes, 1 no vote from Councilmember Hancock.
Very well. And let me just say that for the next time, none of us are lawyers. None of us have served as officers of a court, and we have a chief municipal judge who I think we could certainly get all these applications, but I think it would be good to have a nomination from our chief judge as to who he believes would be best in the courtroom.
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen.
Yeah, maybe I'm mistaken, but I always thought that there was a recommendation given in the past. Is that incorrect?
As set forth within the city's code, the requirement for my position is to nominate at least 2 names. For the last, I believe, 2 selections for the associate position, we've put up 4 names. So I nominate, and then it would be left to council to appoint.
Did you eliminate any names, or did we just get all the names that applied?
We had 52 applicants, Mayor.
Okay, so.
We interviewed 17 people.
Okay.
And so, as Judge Day stated, to change that process, it would take an ordinance to amend the city code, which the mayor has contacted my office about. So that may be forthcoming. It's up to the mayor, but that could happen. And again, as the charter dictates council to change it by ordinance to the city code.
Okay. Motion is in order for to nominate or appoint a new relief judge.
Mayor?
I'm sorry, Councilmember Horton?
Yeah, I would like to put forth Allison Foley's name.
If I may clarify, it's my request that city council appoint all of the relief judges as nominated. It would be left to your prerogative if you wish to take each of them individually, but as we have done in the past, and it has been practice for quite a long time with our court, with the relief judges, I'm asking that you appoint the full group of relief judges.
It is appropriate
Yes.
and customary for us to appoint all of the relief judges as requested
Mayor.
because they.
Very well. Okay.
Motion.
Councilmember.
Yes. Motion to appoint Allison Foley, Eric Hutchins, Troy Johnson, Zachary Phillips, Jennifer Torrington. Did I get them all?
You did.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bergen and seconded by
Hancock.
Councilmember Hancock.
As associate judges.
No, relief
I'm
judges.
sorry, as relief.
To approve the Bergen motion on relief judges. Is there further discussion?
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem.
I just want to clarify from Judge Day, you wouldn't have put any names forward to us for either the associate position or the relief position that aren't people that you would think would do well on the court, correct?
Absolutely not. After this set of interviews, these people stood out to the entire interview committee, and it was the unanimous recommendation of the interview committee.
Okay, we're back to the motion, to the Bergen motion on relief judges.
Mayor, I believe Councilmember Horton is trying to speak.
I'm sorry. Councilmember Horton's motion. Oh, Councilmember Horton, I'm sorry.
Yes, just point of clarification for Judge Day. Can you explain in terms of that institutional knowledge of that best practice and the rationale behind it? Thank you.
Further discussion?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Judge Day.
Councilmember Horton, if you're asking for the practice of what we've done in the past as relates to nominating the entire group, that's been custom and practice for our court for quite some time. Our court is in need of additional relief judges to the number that we proposed before City Council. We need 5 more relief judges because we've lost relief judges to either jurisdictions or other jobs. So we're in need of 5 relief judges at this time.
Okay, thank you, Judge Day.
You're welcome.
And Judge Day, you might just, for the new council members, just kind of explain what relief judges do briefly.
Yeah, the relief judges cover our traffic division every single day. It's a half-time division, morning only. And then they also cover as a need basis when an associate judge is out. And we're also using our relief judges to preside over currently another division, Division 4. And so that's why we need more relief judges. But they cover when an associate judge is out for either planned vacation, unplanned absences as well.
Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on, on the Bergen motion on relief judges.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Andrews. Thank you. The motion passes unanimously to appoint the new judges as motioned by Councilmember Bergen.
Thank you very much for your consideration.
Okay. Okay, reports. Councilmember Andrews.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, happy Women's History Month. Second, I attended a meeting at the Opportunity Center with Black Civic Engagement, trying to work together a strategy to bring Ward 1 together in different ways. I then went to the Aztec Tattoo in Ward 1, where I got to meet with students from New Americas, where they got to learn how to remove tattoos from gang members. And the last thing is public safety meeting on March 12th at 11 a.m. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem Coombs.
Mayor, thank you. First, just want to let folks know that we will have our next at-large town hall meeting on May 5th. And still working on topics with my colleagues. Also, certainly, happy Women's History Month and International Women's Day. I was able to yesterday attend the Casa Inmigrante Health Bazaar at La Plaza in Aurora for International Women's Day. There were over 550 screenings given to folks who came out for different health screenings. There were vaccines available. There were providers there for folks to just be able to learn more about healthcare providers. And the consulate offices for El Salvador and Mexico were there, and I was able to deliver a proclamation on behalf of the city of Aurora. And finally, the Rules Committee, the first meeting of the Rules Committee will be held on Tuesday, March 24th at 5:30 p.m. In the Aurora room. There will be public comment, and we will be talking about the agenda items we want to have moving forward, but also beginning the conversation on the conduct of meetings, the order of the meetings, as well as decorum, both from council and the community.
Councilmember Gardner.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to say a thank you to staff that supported our Build Up Aurora ranking roundups. They, in a lot of cases, nights, weekends, things like that, and they did a really great job, I think, of explaining some of those projects to the public. But really, the better part was the feedback that we got back, and so I just want to say thank you to the residents that attended, to my colleagues. I know a lot of you came to some of those as well, so thank you for that, and kind of looking forward to next steps.
Thank you. Councilmember Jackson.
No updates, thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Horton.
Hello. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I will assume so. Okay. Hi, everyone. So a few updates in terms of the past 2 weeks. I was able to tour the real-time information center at the APD headquarters, and highly encourage my colleagues to do that tour. I appreciate the time of the APD officers who walked me through and answered my many questions. Also attended annual Black History Month luncheon, and had my first board meeting with the Fitzsimmons Innovation Campus. And then lastly, this past Friday, I attended the State of the Region 2026 Adams County Regional Economic Partnership. Learned a lot about energy and walked away a little bit more confused, meaning I have a lot more questions to ask and to learn when it comes to energy and how it impacts our city. In terms of what's upcoming, I did have a scheduled around animal welfare town hall for this Saturday. However, that is going to be postponed. So I will let the public know as soon as another date is scheduled for that conversation. On the 21st of March, at the Saturday from 9:30 to 12:30, there is a follow-up conversation around the Community Development Corporation, which is the entity to be developed alongside the Downtown Development Authority. That conversation is still mostly tailored for our nonprofit partners that work in Northwest Aurora. However, it is public, and more the merrier in terms of really determining what this entity is going to be structured, looks like, and its ultimate impact in Ward 1. That will be at the ABC Community Hub at the Old Paris Elementary School building from 9:30 to 12:30. And so thanks everyone for your time.
Councilmember Wiles.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to start off first by thanking Lieutenant Colonel Tyler Hughes. This past week, and I was honored to be made an honorary commander at Buckley Space Force Base. So feel free to call me Commander going forward. I am excited to work with him the entire year to learn more about Buckley Space Force Base, and then also wanted to send out a shout out to his wife, Lieutenant Colonel Ann Hughes. He talked extensively about her, and I was very excited to learn more about her and him as I move forward this year. Also attended the Black History Luncheon. I was able to bring my 3-year-old granddaughter so that she could be surrounded by the greatness in that room. I'm not sure that she absorbed it all, but we'll keep bringing her back so that she's aware of all of the greatness that exists within our city. I wanted to remind everybody that this weekend there's also the She Plays, which is the free sports trial day at the Southeast Rec Center. So that is on Sunday. And then, obviously, I wanted to honor International Women's Day, which was yesterday. We have amazingly strong women in our community that include moms, grandmas, sisters, aunts, daughters, et cetera, who are the backbone of our community. Not only do many of them come here to address and advocate for others at these meetings, they show up in other meetings. They volunteer their time at schools, out on the sports field. And then, of course, I would be remiss not to acknowledge the over 100 girls in Iran who were killed in a bombing, who unfortunately will never be able to grow to be women and be honored in the future, as well as 5-year-old Hind Rajab Hamada, who demonstrated more bravery than most adults do every single day. Thank you.
Councilmember Medina.
Thank you, Mayor. So I attended the grand opening of the Fire Station 9 that was opened this Saturday. Also, the unveiling of the fastest lightning logo that they utilize. That fire station has served Aurora since 1979 and was definitely due for a renovation. Everybody got to have a tour. It was very well attended by community. Also, my town hall will be tomorrow, March 10th. I will have code and housing. Thank you.
Councilmember Hancock.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to let everyone know that my town hall is this Thursday at Noonan's. We'll be starting off with a 6 to 6:30 networking half hour, and then we will have our meeting following that, featuring pros. We're going to talk a lot about what's going on at Utah Park and the pool and the updates that we're doing over there. I'll also be attending State of the Base this week at the, I believe, at the Aurora, where is it?
Here.
Here. It's here. We usually have it over at the hotel, but this year it's going to be here. So I'm looking forward to participating in that. And also, I went to an unexpected treat on Saturday, or actually Sunday, the Aurora Singers. Did you know that we have this group here? They've been here for 50 years. I did not know that. It was an unexpected pleasure to go to this event. All these folks are volunteers, and they had a delightful performance. I didn't know what to expect, but they sang like show tunes and did Broadway stuff, and it was just delightful. And one of their members who they honored, she just recently passed away, Irene Chase. She was a beloved audience member of the Aurora Singers for many years. She passed at the age of 102. And she sang with the Aurora Singers until she was in her 90s. So, I mean, there is life after retirement. So if you're a singer and you want to join this group, they often have auditions. You can go to the www.aurorasingers.org website. They have rehearsals on Tuesdays, and they're always looking for people to join the group, which I think is pretty cool. So with that, that is my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Lawson.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have my 2 town halls. I have one tomorrow at Central Rec Center. It'll be at 6:30 to 8, and then I'll have one at Heather Gardens on March 21st at 10 o'clock, and we'll have Pete Schulte. He'll be presenting at both of those, I'm hoping.
I'll be at the second.
Oh, okay.
I'm handling tomorrow, he's handling.
Okay, all right, so we'll have both of them there. So I hope everybody can attend. Okay.
Councilmember Bergen.
Thank you, Mayor. A few things. We had Planning Economic Development Committee meeting in the past week. Also, E470 Roadway Committee, which is separate from the board meeting. Management and Finance. I also attended the Build Up Aurora Ranking Roundup that was over at the Southeast Rec Center. I forgot that it was not just people from Ward 6, it was actually from, all over the city. So I think there were more people from the rest of the city than from my own area. I was not okay. But no, it's good. Also had a meeting with the executive director at E470 and the Colorado Motor Carriers Association. And then, of course, want to make a couple announcements. As mentioned by Councilmember Wiles, Sunday is She Plays Aurora Sports Trial Day, and that's also at the Southeast Rec Center from 12 to 4. I'll be there. And then my town hall is on the 18th of March, which is a Wednesday from 6 to 8 at Heritage Eagle Bend.
Well, thank you, and I would encourage our residents to go to, I put a lot of my activities down on my Facebook page, and that is at Mike Kaufman Facebook. It will come up. Public invited to be heard.
Tanya Tabachek, followed by Ayante Anderson.
And Mayor and council members, I forgot to mention it earlier about, I know that we brought back public right to speak in the podium. However, my mom is currently, it has been for like 3 or 4 days, been at the Aurora Advanced Healthcare rehab place. And as you all know, she does like to talk.
Yes.
So it would be nice if we could get that back, the public right to be via the phone, so that she could voice her opinion when and there's other residents, a lot of other residents I see at rehab homes that have a right to talk and say what they want to say. And unfortunately, she would love to be here tonight and speak her mind, but again, she's going through a tough time right now, and she would love to talk and would like that respect to be endeared to her. Thank you.
Ayante Anderson, followed by Della Jordan.
Mayor Kaufman, no report. See you in 2 weeks.
Della Jordan, followed by Median Schaffner. Median Schaffner, followed by Ellen Wu.
Because the work that we do, we proudly follow the lead of the families that we are supporting. So I am going to read words to you from LaRonda Jones, the mother of Kylan Lewis. Kylan's birthday is on March 18th. And I won't get to celebrate him by singing happy birthday. Won't get to see his one-of-a-kind smile, hear him laugh, or feel his bear hug. I have to accept the gruesome reality that I'll never get to see or feel these things again. I highly urge you, council members, to wake up and get motivated and activated. I'm heartbroken and really angry about this reality that I have to live with for the rest of my life. I have to celebrate him by releasing balloons to the heavens. That's all she has left. When Kylan Lewis was murdered by the Aurora police, this city created a narrative of him as if we were better off because he was not here. A member of this council created a narrative that somehow, some way, a call in and a plea for justice transformed us into terrorists and other nonsensical names. It's also been 201 days since Rajon Belt Stubblefield was murdered by the Aurora police. I was an eyewitness, and to this day, I have not been asked to give my account of what happened. There is a leadership problem with the Aurora police. The police, as I've mentioned before, is an output of the culture of leadership that a city provides. Todd Chamberlain has recently said that he wants to create a community response team, but I'm curious if you all listen to or understand the language he's using as he's going out into the community. I was just at a meeting, and I leaned in with curiosity to see what he would say. Your chief of police is still creating division. So his efforts of a community response team are clearly performative. And at this point, to everyone that is on this current council, You are putting his comfort above everyone that he has harmed. Why does he get comfort when this mother has to release balloons? It's not right.
Ellen Wu.
Change does not happen when systemic barriers are present. For change, the barriers need to be removed and replaced with people, policies, procedures, ideas that believe in change and will make those changes happen. Life stories, lived experiences, storytelling need to be and should be fueling the changes. Life stories and lived experiences are the basis of community voices. Storytelling is a form of healing, a path to change. Community voices are necessary to address the community needs for sustainability and equitable outcomes. Community voices are necessary to be part of all discussions. Community voices are the voices of the people. Change cannot and should not be directed by those that seek political gain nor personal gain. Change needs to be a collaboration and true partnership amongst all parties with accountability and transparency, and especially with community voices as the driving factor. Demonstrating accountability and transparency involves not making decisions without community voices heard or in isolation or after the decision has been made. Breaking systemic barriers requires the deliberate identification and elimination of deeply embedded institutional, structural, and policy-based obstacles that perpetuate inequity and unsustainability. True change involves redesigning the underlying rules of the system. Some key aspects to removing systemic barriers: targeting lock-in mechanisms. Systemic barriers often rely on lock-in effects where infrastructure, regulations, and cultural norms reinforce each other. Dismantling these requires changing the rules of the game rather than just playing it better. Structural and policy reform. This involves dismantling specific barriers such as exclusionary zoning or outdated financial methods prevent equal access to resources. Proactive elimination. To actively identify and eliminate these barriers rather than just offering, for instance, temporary accommodations.
That was the last individual.
Seeing no further business before the Aurora City Council, meeting is adjourned.